course, with Alex Lynn taking over a total of 12 laps to go. Duval and Dirani, 2.2 seconds difference between them. Felipe Fraga is up to his old tricks and setting an absolute best lap time in LMP3 and still leading that class by, well,
to the LMP2 prototype RICMOTECH
laps he has in hand, I reckon, for the 74 crew in
jump in here,
LMP3.
get some practice laps in
Being
at
the
Indianapolis
Riley
Speedway
Motorsports car,
with the
sharing
Dallara
with Gar
P217.
Robinson, Kai van Berlo and Michael Cooper.
Oh, great.
Fraga is the gold, so this is where they should be making hay
here.
as the Brazilian continues to stretch his legs. Nearly 8.5 minutes still to go, Bruce.
What you hear in the background is the Rolex 24.
Hours is much better.
That's right, the Rolex 24.
Just check we're both still firing.
I thought I'd be playing something a lot sooner than this.
In 8.5 minutes, but
it's 5:08 a.m.
We commented on the 1 minute 33.
I thought for sure I'd be playing a lot more on and off overnight. I say that every year, and I don't.
And then suddenly the car in second place, Peter Ferrari, 1 minute 34.1. But the car that Shea reported as sparking off the circuit, the 69G Drive Racing Orica, limping in, actually driving off the circuit to keep out of the way. So really frustrating for the Aussie.
I want to try to get quite a bit of a race in here today because I won't be able to tomorrow.
Should be going past in the number 52 P2 entry.
And I haven't slept again. This is the second week in a row staying up all night, as last week was our own Rolex 24 Daytona on iRacing. And this week is the real one, so
from James Allen bringing it back.
2 weeks in a row staying up all night on Saturday night.
The pits, and now they got the other one
I only had one coffee so far. I was probably going to do this race and then take another one right after.
James made a standard stop during the caution period after only 8 laps, and he's got as far again in this stint, but well north now of his usual average. Let's hope it's only a tyre that has let go and that it's not done too much damage to the inside of that wheel arch, that the skin is maybe, well, we wouldn't have a skin because of course the hole in the top for the prototypes, but there's still quite a bit of crucial bodywork around the wheel arch, and also the rear deck as well. Let's hope none of that needs changing. That's about the right speed, I would say, for the Australian. Quick enough so you're not losing bags of time.
16 registers, so that means it's finally going to be one split.
You're taking chunks out of the bodywork. New tyre has been identified. They are going to take some of the bodywork off, quite possibly the rear deck, and replace that to avoid any drama further down the line. Another minute or so to go before another half hour of the race is completed, and in a further 30 minutes we will be at 2/3 distance, which is a mini milestone. I think the bigger milestone will be daybreak, and then onward until 1:40 this afternoon for the end of the race. Nose to tail between the 5 and the 31. These two cars a few seasons ago were run out of the same stable, Mustang Sampling and Whelen Engineering. The sponsors remain the same, but the teams behind them have changed. Well, certainly for the number 5 car that is the case. And a neat bit of driving there from Loic Duval, who went to the left-hand side. Initially he went right of a big clutch of GT traffic, and then the next clump he went left of, and Pipo Dirani, with all his experience, couldn't react fast enough through no fault of the GT drivers other than their own around him, just couldn't find the required track space.
No, I mean, there were 5 GT class cars, and suddenly there was 2 cars between the race leader, Loic Duval, and Pipo Dirani. They'd been, what, half a second apart on the start-finish line, and now as they sweep around the back and get going towards that Le Mans chicane, you're looking at the best part of 2 seconds. So we know sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but Loic Duval got it just right, and frustration for Dirani, but they have to stay calm, wait, and now they've actually got clear track, no cars between them. I don't think too much up in front either. It's not long since that restart, as I say, then of course they come on in terms of a GT class car, but that's fine. They go high around the outside at turn 13, which is effectively turn 4 on the oval, but turn 13, the final corner before they come around through the kinked left-hander, the long left-hander that takes them to the end of a lap, but very much advantage to Loic Duval. JDC Motorsports, what's the gap between the pair, between him and the advantage has turned into 1.6 seconds is the gap. So it worked the traffic very well for long run. It worked for people to run.
Get back to the rhythm. Do your thing.
It's busy out there. It's super busy. Yeah, that's the turn.
Yesterday afternoon, driving there Saturday, particularly on this lap, Mexico fair there.
Stuart will be working it out as he goes along, but really annoying. When it's manifest a second one or even possibly a third one. So tricky. At this point, there's hands are cold.
Stay on course.
Their hands will be cold, their fins will be cold, their core temperature will be cold. And again, that's where it's just so hard, and you can never blow the trumpet enough for crews that work in any role they have with a racing team. There's only lots of track time and highs and lows, etc. in the lead up to the race. Let's face it, these two incidents, therefore, more time.
Network of channels. Bruce Jones and Johnny Palmer for this segment. John Hindhaugh returning in about 45 minutes time with Jeremy Shaw. Shea Adam will stay in the pits during that session as well.
Obviously, with temperatures hovering around the freezing point, you know, for a man from the northeast of England, John will be wearing, just deciding what singlet to wear with his shorts, whereas Jeremy, who's done 30-plus years stateside, is probably wearing a few more layers of clothing, I would think.
Maybe so. Rooftop Ray, though, having to use finger and toe warmers, we were hearing earlier on, doing a sterling job, yeah, getting the nod there from Rooftop Ray's camera as well. That's the international symbol for a positive, and we sometimes get the shake of the camera as well to say negative. It's like the start of the race again, with GT cars pouring their way out of turn 6 and up onto the Speedway, with the Lexus and the Ferrari very close to one another. So that's Kyle Kirkwood and Davide Regon. Regon reeling in the front-engined Lexus, almost a touring car-shaped GT machine. But the Lexus has been part and parcel of GT Daytona class for many years now in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. And it's the Risi Competizione Ferrari with the red LED roofline and headlights splayed at a very wide angle across the racetrack, as they are both going to be lapped by an LMP2 car, which gets between them briefly, but then can complete the job around the outside of the tri-oval and hopefully get to the inside racing line, yes, just in time for turn number 1.
It's a thing of beauty, I think, having multi-class racing, particularly at night, and just seeing how they work it out. Shay, what's happening down in the pit lane?
I finally found someone down at the 0-2 to give me an answer, and it was none other than Brad Goldberg, who was hiding behind the back of the pit perch. He said it was a fuel pressure issue that caused the car to slow down on track significantly, all solved by adding a bit more.
Okay, well, there is a question mark remaining then as to when that car starts to get very light on fuel, whether the pressure will dip again, but there's been at least one more pit stop since then. We're talking an hour ago, so let's hope that that has rectified the problem.
But one thing that stands out when you look at the timing screens that you can find here, there and everywhere is the fact that that 0-2 car has got 33 pit stops under its belt, but the race-leading cars in DPI have only had 24, so they're doing things differently. But that was the pattern before they had the fuel pressure problem. But thanks very much, Shay, for clearing that up, because a lot of people have been asking. It was one of those things that wasn't visually obvious to us.
Certainly not, and these things they'll know all about them during their particular stint, and conversations will be had afterwards with Kevin Magnussen, I'm sure. But yeah, to us, we were a little bit in the dark for a while, so good to have that cleared up. I'll work out exactly which stint it was when he had that slower lap. I believe the 143.4 is the average. So it was somewhere between lap 400 and lap 420 where his average speed went way out, but he had 2 further stints after that where lap times, even on the average, were very respectable. So let's keep our fingers crossed that that issue has been solved. Alex Lynn since taking over the car, and the Ferrari of Ricci has got by the Lexus, so that's a place change for Davide Rigon, moving ahead of Kyle Kirkwood and into 3rd position in GT Daytona Pro. Mathieu Jaminet leads for Pfaff in the number 9. Then it's Dennis Olsen for KCMG, Porsche number 2. And then this duo of Ferrari and Lexus prancing horses ahead and just starting to gallop away.
Yeah, and then suddenly Kyle Kirkwood, having lost that little scrap, has now got Danny Juncadella right on his tail. That 97 WeatherTech Racing Mercedes is taking a look at the yellow tail end of the Lexus that actually turns through the corner a little bit better, but that's because very good use of the mirrors there. Danny Juncadella spotted a prototype coming up his inside, so he rose high. And we've got the 44 Magnus Racing Aston Martin off the edge of the track. The lights are on, and it's going again, so little mishap. Rejoining at the, well, partway between the 2nd and 3rd of the 4 parts of the Le Mans chicane, the newly renamed Le Mans chicane, and the 44. That scramble for Spencer Pellion, but something where it shouldn't be. Is he going to keep going? There's no clear damage. I think the simple spin might have felt less simple. Spencer, but
checker.
Johnny, we've looked at the top of the time charts for the P2 class. It's either been first or second for Dragon Speed. So
it doesn't have the
Elton Julian, come on, Elton, a little bit of a smile. Well done. But going well.
A one to go. Right side on the restart.
GTD Pro, but the regular
Closed.
It's been great in the battle between the Right Motorsport Porsche number 16 and the 57 Winwood Racing Mercedes, and not so long ago it was the Mercedes in front, and now it's the Porsche. Jan Halen's turn. He's had a good couple of years, hasn't he? Great successes last year. It's been a long career for the Belgian, and he's really made a huge success stateside. He's only 3 seconds clear of Lucas Auer, the Austrian driver, giving chase and gaining slightly last time around. But as much as we see the prototypes coming through and having to sort of slightly abate their pace to make sure the GT class car or a P3 car isn't in their way too much, so the GT cars can lose position, trying to keep out of the way of the DPIs, and keep an eye on that. But it looks at the moment as though Lucas Auer in the Winwood Racing Mercedes has got the advantage. He's certainly, let's do the maths, 20 seconds clear of Ollie Milroy, who's third in class in the McLaren that's still going, the Inception Racing McLaren, because the Crucial Motorsport car went well early on, but that was out of the race quite a while ago. But the 70 McLaren, Ollie Milroy at the wheel, his regular teammate, Brendan Nereid, American racer, shares that with him, Frederick Schandorf, and the South American racer, Jordan Pepper. But it's all Ollie Milroy at the moment. He's lapping well, so he's in the mix. That could be a huge result, because Inception Racing really want to make a splash. Home ground in the States in 2022.
Yeah, been steadily moving towards ACO rules racing, and yeah, a fascinating first step into WeatherTech Sports Car Championship action as well. Brendan Nereid, who is a McLaren specialist, although when they ran at Le Mans, was that now 2 years ago, or was it only last year? They couldn't run a McLaren because they didn't have a GTE car, of course, so had to go with a Ferrari instead. It was only last year, okay, but Shea confirms that. It feels like 18 months ago. There we are. That's the world we live in currently. 22 laps on the clock for Pagenaud and Lim. So
all right, looks like you're going to be lining up behind the 9.
As I said, they were the ones that did a double pit stop during the caution. Pagenaud's stops were only 3 laps apart, and it was a short 4-lap stint for Alex Lim before returning on lap 466. So we're expecting him to go at least a couple more before he needs a bit more fuel.
Okay, while you're crunching the numbers on that, Johnny, I just want to put into perspective that different approaches to cooler temperatures. Obviously, Floridian.
They could be lining up behind the 9.
Something they're used to. Commented on the commentary box will be approached very shortly by two Brits, which of course John Michael will be wearing shorts, and Jeremy Shaw wouldn't. But I love a comment from a viewer saying this is a British comment. Seems a bit nippy. Let's have a couple. Yeah, different ways of doing it.
That'll take the edge off it, definitely. With the little bit of a breeze, making it feel 2 or 3 degrees lower than it is, and there's going to be no let up for another hour or so in the temperature. Into the pits, the LMP2 race leader is Colton Herter for Dragon Speed in the number 81 two-tone orange and yellow car, and on that lap, as did Nicolas Lapierre in the 52 PR1 Matterson Motorsport Orica. So Andrade running with Tower Motorsport this year. He pitched from second.
Get behind the 9.
Promote Dylan Mully to third position. Certainly 3 cars that can lead this class on the pit stop side. But I'm not sure Lapierre's quite close enough in the 52 though.
Now we talked about trying to get heat into your tyres and how it's not the work of just your outlet, but as much as 10, but just something you almost never see. Nicolas Lapierre just leaving the pit lane in the...
Give me a quick radio check, please.
Orica and
Report, thank you.
just being cautious. He was weaving like mad, just trying to...
The pace car is off. Be ready. I'll be looking up in front of you now. Ready, green flag. Right side. You're clear. Got one off the track in front of you. Right side, 2 wide on the left side, 1 only. Keep going.
Fucking hell,
Clear,
dude.
clear. Keep your eyes open. Right side, quarter, clear. Minute 33.281. Alright, keep on digging, man. Get by these fuckers. Minute 19.681.
Sorry.
Left side. All clear. Very slow on the right. Right side. Clear, clear, clear.
Doing okay again, back in the rhythm.
Keep going, keep going. left side, clear. Left side, still there. 1 minute 21.279, still there, your door, clear, clear. Left side, clear. Minute 19.213, right side. Still there, clear, clear, clear. On your right, clear. Right side. Still there, your door. All clear. One on the right side. 1 minute 20.609. Still there, still there, still there. Clear.
Thanks for the contact, man. Thank you. Clean drive, as always.
One minute 19.374. Slow one's in front of you. Drive through it. Left side. Clear.
God damn it, man.
Left side. Clear. left side.
To extend it.
You're clear.
Dennis Olsen pitted late to the Gemini to the tune of 7 laps.
One minute 26.744. Gonna have a car off to the right.
How hard is it to get heat into new Michelin tires? I saw they put them on for Zach as he took over the 16-year portion.
One minute 20.783.
Section Racing Lamborghini swerving its way out of turns 1 and 2 after each
One minute 20.804. It's in front of you now. Keep your eyes open. Gonna have a car off to the right. Keep coming. One minute 20.349. left side. Clear if you need it. 1 minute 20.299. Minute 20.707. Minute 21.145. Minute 20.863. left side. Clear, clear. Checker flag is out. Boss, I know, I appreciate you hanging in there. Sorry about that.
And it was the number 6, Moulin Motorsport America, Duquesne, that is off Joel Miller. Out of the car, walking around, but the car going nowhere at the moment.
Yeah, now if that can recover back to the pit lane, I would hope, although I haven't got a really good view of the front of that car, but I would hope that a lot of the panels that have come off it, as I've mentioned, are designed to snap off, and therefore they can fix a new nose to that, and it hasn't done too much damage. But if you struggle to stop into the International Horseshoe, you are going at a real rate of knots through the twisty turny bit at turns 2, the kink right and left, and you might think, well, out of 1 to 3, that's not a great distance, but these prototypes accelerate like crazy, and if it's a full brake failure or maybe a stuck open throttle, that will have done substantial damage to the nose of that car. Let's keep our fingers crossed for the time being. It will be recovered and might be able to head back to the pits under its own steam, but we will wait and see. The caution's still out, pits are closed, so nobody has the option to come into the pit lane just yet. It will be prototypes first of all, and GT's next time. Shay's reporting to me that there was one taker into the pit lane. So was that for emergency service, Shay, for cars?
Yes, it was, and they will be coming back down to do a full pit stop. I think Casper needed to pit, and they were up on the wall before the caution came out, but the wall was too far around the track to make it in before the yellows went.
And if you're wondering why the Corvettes are further down the order than many would have expected, they hit dramas around about 7-8 hours in. The 3 car had an alternator problem. Exactly what the issue was for the number 3 car. But those machines, of course, former GT-LM cars and ran as GTEs, are now GT3 machines as part of engineered to be eligible for this class. And Corvettes have had some wonderful years here, not least that time when the 2 front-engine cars finished the GT-LM battle side by side, virtually a dead heat after 24 hours. This year, sadly, for Detroit land, will be a year to forget, and it's a tricky entry into GT3 running, but they will come back fighting from round 2, be assured of that. Out of Speedway turn 2 and down the back straight comes this collection of DPI cars then, headed by Tristan Nunez. Lap 5:01, which is a number favoured by many darts fans, I'm sure, but we missed the 500, apologies for that, but 501 working 5:02. And Tristan Nunez ahead of Tristan Vautier. Then it's Blomqvist, Stevens and Alex Lynn in 2 Acuras and Alex Lynn in the 3rd of the Caddies.
Once we get after a caution period, we get a restart. Those restarts have been fantastic during our 4-hour stint. It really comes to the end of our 4-hour stint, Johnny, but we don't want to give up the microphone. It's been so much fun, but we're going to, I'm sure, get another restart in. So is it going to be with Tristan, or would it be Tom? As we work out who's going to be first around after 1 full racing lap, or will it be Will or Alex Lynn at the back? So Tristan Nunez leads in number 31. Wheeler Engineering Racing Cadillac, Tristan Vautier, the number 5 JDC Miller Motorsports Cadillac in that 2nd place. Tom Blomqvist from Meyershank Racing tucked in behind the best of the Acuras. Then Will Stevens, number 10, the other Acura, that's Wayne Taylor's team. And then the 02 car from Alex Lynn Cadillac Racing, all in the mix. Who's going to jump best, or are they going to dive into the pits?
Yeah, we've got to do a full pit stop cycle now as well, because it's been 50 minutes since the last caution period. And Shay Adam watching the DPIs more down the road.
The first of our pit stops actually
drivers in IMSA history, and it's just it's really good when you get a second-generation driver, in their family case, 2 second-generation drivers who aren't just second-generation drivers, they're drivers in their own right, and they really live up to the family name, and as well as being just so supremely entertaining as well. So a little bit of wheel spin doesn't hurt with Shay's mic still being open. We love it.
17 lap stint for Nunez, including the caution leading into that stop. Only 12 laps necessary for Tom Blomqvist and Alex Lynn. Tristan Vautier, the next longest stint after Nunez, so he did 16, and Will Stevens 15 laps on his stick. Remember, these cars under green flag conditions can go as far as 22 laps. There's a bit of an extension at the end of the previous stint as well, because of the caution that we had just under 50 minutes ago. LMP2s, Colton Herter leading that, but Ferdinand Hatzberg has come in from second position after 12 laps. He must have pitted twice during a caution, just 2 laps apart previously, but as I say, he's just done 12. Lapierre's done 14. And a quick change around last time as well in the number 29 car for Racing Team Nederland for Rinus VK, who took over from Dylan Murray. And Rinus, having done 3 caution laps so far, he will be settling back once we get back to green for a good portion, probably a double stint.
Will we get green before we get to the top of the hour? We may be just about to miss out on that, but so these will have a new crew in the Hackney Global Broadcast Centre who'll be in the starters' orders, then they're ready to sort of tag wrestle, slap our hand and come in and take it over, but they will get night turning into day. So we will be back within a few hours, but it's been absolutely enthralling, and I just can't wait to see how the rest of this classic race unfolds.
Well, it should be the GTs coming in next for their pits.
Race Lab didn't never showed up. I lost 60 there. Just included part. Okay. Give me part 4. I'm hungry. I'm literally contemplating I want to get Brewers breakfast or some shit, but
you know, we have a chance to win this thing, and the clock's ticking now. It's a race to the end.
Good morning, everyone. You can see the Rolex at Daytona International Speedway. It reads 6 a.m. and yes, that is correct. And you're waking up on USA Network to the 60th running of the Rolex 24 at Daytona, an iconic event where drivers from around the world come to play and hopefully go home with a trophy and a Rolex watch, one of the best trophies in the world you can get. Our WeatherTech weather, it has been a story all night long. The temperature currently 34 degrees, just a slight wind, and that was a little bit warmer at the start of the race, but not much. It's been clear all night, not a drop of precipitation. That is the good news. So let's see how we got to this 6 o'clock hour. Of course, our 6 wonderful Grands Steward that started the race here today, a unique way to get things going for the 60th running of the Rolex 24. And alongside James Hinchcliffe, I'm Dave Burns. Let's take a look at how we got the race started. Beautiful sunshine, Hinch.
It was great. The number 10 Konica Minolta Wayne Taylor car going for 4 in a row from pole position, but trouble early down in turn 6.
That was Dwight Merriman getting the Aero Motorsports LMP2 car off track. Corner worker down, but not injured severely, and we're happy for that. Hour 2, look at the traffic.
This was one of the big talking points. You see 4 wide on the banking. They were used to seeing Cup cars doing that, not GT cars here at the Rolex 24. Lots of traffic out there.
Down here, a Ferrari gets a little bit awry and unfortunately collects one of the Lexuses going by.
Yeah, our Townsend Bell, one of the drivers in that car, Frankie Montecalvo in the car at the time. He tries to go around. They let off the brakes. The Ferrari does, just rolls back, but unfortunately, big damage to the left rear of that Lexus. That put them way down the order.
They've come back some, but it's tough to overcome all that damage. Here's a pass for the lead by Elio Castroneves.
Acura on Acura outside into turn 1. Elio did a great move to get the lead, but it was short-lived. Just a little bit later that lap, this problem with the left rear tire, he had to nurse that number 60 Acura all the way back to pit lane, trying to reduce the amount of damage. But speaking of damage, big incident here on one of the restarts. Sunshine in the eyes of the drivers.
You see the 23 of Alex Riberas, the Aston Martin, going around with Kenny Hubble contact, and then an LMP car with contact as well. This is the Acura spinning in turn 1.
Trouble for the pole sitter. Again, it was a tire issue for Will Stevens, down on the right rear, had to nurse it around just like the 60 did, but that Acura got back to the pits, got the tires changed, back on track.
It's been a rough go for the new BMW. You see the 24 being pushed behind the wall here.
And then
front damage there.
Yeah, and then it was contact on a restart in the back of the number 4 Corvette, led to some more damage. They had to really tear that car apart to get to the root of the problem. Way down for those guys. Very unfortunate situation here.
At the point of the field, the Cadillacs have been very fast in DPI, but a little bit of trouble here for Alex Lynn and the 10 of Ricky Taylor.
You see him on and off the brakes coming to the restart here. A little bit of trickery. Maybe he's trying to get some heat in the tires. Ricky runs into the back of him. It flattens that tire on the O2. He had to pit.
Tristan Nunez goes around in his Cadillac. No harm, no foul. They're still very, very quick. And then this was hour 11. The LMP2 leader in the 20 car. Crash.
We've seen a lot of cars go around in turn 1, very tricky, but that was the only one that made it all the way to the wall, and huge damage on that car. Speaking of damage, look at the left rear, the right rear rather, of the 48 DPI car. Jimmy Johnson behind the wheel. Contact with the GT car led to suspension damage, and that put them back in the garage for a while.
Repaired that car. It is also back on track. And then for Sebastian Bourdais, the 01 Cadillac going into the garage area, alternator problems, Hinch.
Yeah, really a shame. This car's been very dominant all weekend, very quick in the race, and those guys are now multiple laps down, and the team car had a mysterious problem with fuel pressure. We saw a lap time that was well into the 2-minute mark. Seems to be back up and running now, but not all smooth sailing for the Chip Ganassi Racing squad.
So let's take a look at all of the leaders we've had through we're late into the race now, just over 7.5 hours remaining in the Rolex 24. You can see Nunez leading in the DPI class. Colton Herta taking over in LMP2.
Felipe Fraga in the number 74 LMP3 machine, and GTD Pro, a very exciting race all race long. A bunch of cars running in the top 3 consistently. Daniel Hunkadea in the WeatherTech Racing. That's the Mercedes. There's 2 different WeatherTech Racing cars in that class.
And of course, GTD and GTD Pro contested here. Take a look on the left-hand side. Of course, you know that all 24 hours are streaming on Peacock. We're into segment number 4 if you're streaming on Peacock. Can't put it all into one, so you got to go to each segment on there. Make sure you're on number 4 now. And until noon on USA Network, then we go to Big NBC for the big finish. And it should be, if it's anything like what we've seen the last few years here at Daytona. So once again, everyone, welcome. Dave Burns alongside James Hinchcliffe. He's a little Tim Hortons this time of day. I'm a little Starbucks this time of day. We're trying to get it all together and remember everything we've seen and take you on into the next couple of hours here on USA Network. Hinch, you've run this race several times. You know what these morning hours can be like. What do you expect?
I mean, I expect a little bit more carnage, to be totally honest. This is one of the trickiest times of the race. Fatigue's really setting in now, not just with the drivers, with the mechanics. We saw one car only get 3 of their 4 tires changed in a pit stop. These little errors can creep in as fatigue starts to set in. So temperature's still down, the sun's still down, but mistake rate still pretty high.
Fatigue not setting in for our Marty Snyder, who's been down on pit road much of the evening and into the night. Marty, what have you seen lately?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I was on the Hinch shift. So what do we leave? 11:15 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. Hinch?
About that.
Now we're back here at 6 a.m. Ready to go, right?
Absolutely. Cannot wait. Let's get this thing going.
Exactly. So the key down here on pit road right now, staying warm. That's number 1. But 2, trying to get a little bit of sleep. The Action Express guys kind of getting some rest here. A couple guys down here, and with the moving blanket, staying warm and getting a little bit of rest. But that's a big key right now, right, Dave? Got the checkered flag blanket going on there too. So we mentioned the temperatures, which are obviously very cold, almost record-setting temperatures here in Daytona. We talk about these tires, so how cold are they going to be when they go on? How about 34 degrees for the tires? Hinch, would you like that? Going on your race car and having that first lap or so?
I mean, that's quite literally 2 degrees away from an ice cube. So no, that's not what I want on my race car.
Well, it's funny. I talked to Jan Halen a moment ago, who was the leading Wright Motorsports Porsche. When he got out of the car, he said, man, that first lap, the whole first lap is terrible. He said it's so sketchy and it's so hard to hold on to the race car. So that's what these teams are dealing with. And the other interesting thing that's developed in DPI is that the Acuras have been able to go pretty much consistently further than the Cadillacs on all of these runs. With all these cautions, it's going to be tough, Dave, but if they can get a green flag run, those Acuras might have an advantage.
Marty brings up the cautions, full course caution number 14 coming to a close here, and as the field gets ready to go back to green.